of the first things that Donald Trump did once he got elected as president was he shrunk the size of national monuments throughout the country.
The size of his own hands.
Now, after he did that, there were promises by Ryan Zinke, who is the head of the Interior Department, that we're not going to sell these public lands to private interests, okay? We're not going to give these lands or sell these lands to oil companies for drilling. We just want to shrink the size of these national monuments for fun. Okay, yeah. Obviously I'm paraphrasing there, but he promised incessantly that he would not sell off these public lands. Well, luckily we have environmental groups that are looking into this situation. They're monitoring it closely, and here's what they found. They caught the Department of the Interior trying to sell off part of the Grand Staircase-Escalante National Monument in Utah, despite the pledge by Secretary Ryan Zinke never to put public lands up for sale. So luckily, because of the great work by these environmental groups, after massive backlash, the Interior Department's Bureau of Land Management canceled all plans to sell off the land. Trump, by the way, just to give you more details on what he did, in an extremely controversial move, radically shrunk the size of the monument last December. So the Trump administration released its management plans for the much smaller Grand Staircase and Bears Ears national monuments that placed a priority on energy development and included the plan to sell off 1,610 acres of public lands.
So let's go over a couple of things here. Why would you shrink the monuments? If you weren't going to do some sort of mining on them, you weren't going to sell them, you weren't going to do any of that. No, of course you did it for a reason. Anyone who pretends otherwise is being disingenuous, okay? In this particular case, apparently it turns out some of the land that they wanted to privatize just happened to be right next to a property of Utah State Representative Mike Knoll, who'd always been complaining about it. And he even, that state representative even tried to rename a Utah highway after Trump after he
shrunk the size of the
shrunk the monuments. And then they like quietly tried to say, oh, okay, now these are up for sale right next to your property, right? And then they got caught with their hand in the cookie jar, and no, we didn't mean that, we didn't mean that, right? But let's be fair here. Was Ryan Zinke really clear that he wouldn't sell them off? I'm going to give you a couple of quotes here. And back during his confirmation hearings, when they lie through their teeth to get confirmed when they're not going to be balanced or fair at all in reality, he said, quote, "I am absolutely against transfer or sale of public land."
What is the point of Senate confirmation hearings if people are just gonna lie, say whatever they wanna say, and that's it? Like, there's no consequence for lying, and he clearly lied in this case.
March 3rd, 2017, he said, quote, "You can hear it from my lips. We will not sell or transfer public land." One last one, this is this last December, quote, "There's not one square inch of land that is removed from federal protection." Well, of course, that turns out to be not remotely true. Well, to be fair to him, it was not 1 square inch, it was 1,610 acres of public land they were trying to sell.
And it's important to draw attention to this issue because this is one of the rare bipartisan issues among American voters, because there are a lot of conservatives, a lot of Republicans who do want to protect this public land because they like to go hunting. They like to enjoy that public land just as much as liberals do or progressives do. So I love that the environmentalists did a good job here in revealing what's really going on with Ryan Zinke and the potential sale of public lands.
Interior Deputy Secretary David Bernhardt found himself on the underside of a bus. He said, "Oh yeah, it was me. I didn't check with anybody else, and I decided to sell it on my own." My guess is Zinke earlier told him,
"Show me the batuk."
2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below, then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.